My dear, we need to talk. Hi, it's Writing Wednesday, and you may remember in last week's video, How to Drive a Writer Crazy, I talked about how your characters can sometimes drive you crazy by having opinions of their own about the direction their storyline should take or whatever. And that got me thinking about a recent change I made to my storyline and how my character Lily might feel about it. So I decided it was time to sit down and talk things out with Lily. I've been perusing these latest revisions you've made to the manuscript, and I'm very troubled with this scene that you've added recently, in which I do what I think would have to be described as a very unkind thing to my daughter, my beloved daughter, Grace. Well, you know, Lily, I don't know if it helps at all, but, I want to remind you that I did lift this incident from a real historical incident. This is something that actually happened to a real person here in Newfoundland during the time I was researching. The mere fact that somebody at some point in history, some unnamed person, did this to their daughter is not at all the same thing as saying that I did this. But I mean, it's not a violent act, it's not a criminal act. I don't even know if you could call it cruel. No, but it is unkind, mean-spirited, and frankly, it's petty. Oh, and you're not any of those things ever? Are you suggesting that I, Lily Hunt Brown, I should probably tell you too, your married name is not Brown anymore. I'm sorry, I know you had gotten used to it, but when I researched the area where your husband was coming from, there weren't a lot of Browns in that area. So, I'm sorry, I'm afraid you're Lily Hunt Collins now. You see, that's typical of you and your high-handed ways as an author. I get accustomed to my name, I think of myself as Lily Hunt Brown, I think of my husband as Mr. Brown, and now, suddenly I find out I'm Lily Hunt Collins. I can adapt to changes like this because I have no other choice. But to read in these pages that I have done something that is so reprehensible and hurtful, well, it hurts me. So can you honestly say that you've never done anything to Grace that was unkind or mean-spirited? I have certainly said things and done things that Grace herself did not like, but it was always with the best of motives. I've made mistakes in my life, and if I could spare my daughter the pain of making any of those same mistakes, it would be worth any cost. So is there a possibility then that maybe, feeling that it was justified, you could have done this particular thing to her? All right, I confess, I did do it. Looking back now, I'm ashamed of it, but at the time, I believed I was acting from the best of motives. I did it, and I'll tell the world. You may tell the world. I, Lily Hunt Brown, Lily Hunt Collins, did this unkind, reprehensible deed. And I'm sorry, I'm bitterly sorry for it. All right, you're almost making me feel bad for making you do it now, but it wasn't me, it was you. I think it was inherent in your character all along, and I wrote the scene, I think it works. Now mind you, nobody else has read the scene yet except me. So until, someone else reads it and responds to it, I guess I won't know whether it really is in character with, your character. But I'm glad you're coming around to feeling that it's something that you can live with having done. And I just hope it works for the reader. Hey, next week is my 50th Writing Wednesday. And on my 25th Writing Wednesday, I did a Q&A, questions and answers. That was a lot of fun. And I'm going to do the same thing next week for the 50th anniversary episode. I guess that sounds like I've been doing it for 50 years like Doctor Who, but I haven't. 50 weeks of episodes every week. And so if you have questions for me about writing, about my books, about writing generally, or about reading and books in general, leave them in the comments and I will try to get to as many of them as I can next week.